Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Mario Reacts 2, baby. And today we are reacting to this young lady. She ended up catching HIV from a guy. So yeah, we're gonna we're gonna listen to her story, y'all, and see what's going on. Let's get it. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss, baby. Let's go.
Where to begin? I guess on the night that I met the guy that infected, I was on a date with this guy and his girlfriend. I got really drunk. He got really mad. By the time that we parted ways, I was extremely drunk. Now, if you've seen the other videos, I go into detail about what happened on the date. It's really embarrassing, so I don't like to repeat it. Just go back to the video. That night was just like a culmination of all the bad decisions I've made. Let's recap. I'm on a date. The date goes bad. He does not want to see me for the rest of his life. So I'm not with the date anymore. I'm in the streets by myself, walking aimlessly because I was drunk. And so I run into a group of people. And
so you was on a date. You end up getting into it. You drunk as hell. You end up leaving. Now you drunk walking. Now you run into a group of people. That's red flags all the way through. Let's go.
And knowing myself, I probably said something very disrespectful and out of pocket because that's how I behaved when I was drunk, which is why I don't drink anymore. It's going to be a year in September since I had alcohol. So glory to God for that. After that, I walk away from the people. I noticed someone following me, and not only is he following me, but he's recording me on his phone. So I immediately feel very defensive.
He following you and recording you? Damn. Yeah. Sounds like some stalker activity to me.
And I feel unsafe. Woo! Okay. I sense that someone's following me. He crosses the street to get closer to me, and he has a phone in hand and puts it right in my face. I knock the phone from his hand. It falls onto the floor. He curses me out and then puts it even closer. So at that point, I feel extremely violated and I'm belligerent. I have a history of trauma with men, sexual trauma with men, childhood sexual trauma. And so these are things that I carried with me.
Sorry to hear that. That's not good at all. A lot of women have been getting like sexually abused as kids by their own grandfathers, dads, uncles, cousins, brothers. Like, it's sad. Like, I don't understand it, man. It's sad, bro. And I want to say I'm sorry for any woman that ever been affected in any type of way, them circumstances, you know. I know you're probably still healing and things like that, and I want to salute you for being strong, and you got this.
And unfortunately, if you know, you know, being part of a Hispanic and minority family, you don't talk about your traumas. I couldn't go to therapy because we didn't go to therapy. That was specifically for other people. There was a lot of trauma that I was living with, that I was carrying inside of my body, because your body literally stores trauma. That's what I mean by a culmination of all the pain. He has this phone in my face and it triggers something in me, and I spit on him. I literally got the biggest loogie that I could find from the back of my throat, and I spit on him. And once I spit on him, he punches me in the face, knocks me out cold. I don't remember anything for a while. The first thing that I remember when I come to is I'm crying. I'm hysterical, and I hear someone's voice asking me, "Yo, are you okay? Are you good, Ma?
Are you okay?"
My eyes like so.
Damn, look at her eye.
Recording on my phone, right? So I was like, "Oh, you want?"
Look at her eye right there. It's shut. Well, not right there. Damn, that sucked, man. I hate that for you.
Okay.
My eye is like so swollen. I'm recording on my phone, right? So I was like, "Oh, you want to record on your phone? I'm gonna record on my phone." This person who asked me if I was okay is obviously not the same person who knocked me out. So the person who was asking me if I was okay ended up being the person who infected me. He picks me up.
Damn! So then you get knocked out by this dude that's stalking you and recording you. You wake up, you just spit on him and everything. Then you wake up. Now you know what I mean? Now you faced with this dude that's asking you if you're okay, and this guy is the one who's about to affect you. You were just at this other place where you induced was on a date and you walked away. Like, Joe, that whole night is terrible. Goodness, bro. God damn.
Takes initiative on trying to get me home. He escorts me to his car. People are also in the car. During the time that he is taking everyone else home, and people in the car are like, yo, leave her on the side of the road. I was probably still being belligerent, but I'm still a human being. So at this point, he's asking me for an address, but I'm not giving it to him because I'm drunk. Instead of taking me to like a police station, hospital, etc., he's like, you know what? I'm gonna take you to my place. He takes me to his place. I remember walking into his place, but that's the only thing I remember. The next morning, I woke up in such a daze that I wasn't even sure if I was alive.
How is that the only thing you remember? You went in his place and your memory just blank out, but you know how to get in. You knew you went to his place. You knew you walked into his place, but then your brain just stops. Like, I don't get that. I don't get it. Like, did he drug you or something?
And then I realized that I couldn't open my eye, and that's when I started crying. I am facing the wall, so I don't know who's behind me. Once I start crying, he wakes up, or he's been awake, and he's like, come over here. Like, I don't remember this person at all. I don't remember what this person looked like, and I was so scared to turn around.
You should have left.
Be appalled by what I saw, right? I turn around, and it's him. I'm like,
hold on, you turn around and see him. Is the dude that knocked you out or the dude that infected you, bro?
Could have been worse. This is the ignorance.
Let me go back.
This person at all. I don't remember what this person looked like. And I was so scared to turn around and be appalled by what I saw, right? I turn around and it's him. I'm like, could have been worse. This is the ignorance, right? This is behind HIV, because this guy was literally dying from his untreated HIV, potentially AIDS diagnosis. I thought he was cute. It's so ignorant. Please, I'm begging you, if there's anything that you can take away from this video, is that HIV does not have a look. You could be sleeping with someone who is literally counting their days. I start questioning him.
Yeah.
Intercourse. He basically lied to me and told me that we didn't have intercourse, but I'm like, I'm naked, you're naked. I think we had intercourse. And I think at that point he was...
So you don't even remember having intercourse, so he didn't... Because when you say you walked in the house, you blanked out, so he didn't took advantage of you, had sex with you, infected you. You're still in this motherfucker. That's crazy.
Just really scared that I was going to say that he, like, assaulted me. But, which I do believe that he did. Please do not have intercourse with someone who is drunk, especially if you yourself are not, especially in the state that I was in, because I wasn't tipsy. I was far beyond that point. He eventually drops me off at home. We go our separate ways, but he's persistent about being in my life. He calls me, checks up on me. We embark on this relationship, right? And the only one that ends up being in a relationship is me. He is still doing whatever he pleases. He knows how to set his boundaries so well. He knows how to keep his many different lives separated, and he remembers all of his lies. So we were together for 7 or 8 months total. It's hard to describe what I felt because I'm not sure what parts of it were real and what parts of it were manipulation. I did need therapy after our relationship, not just because of the HIV. Actually, I didn't receive any therapy for the HIV, but it was mainly because of the gaslighting that I received. I wasn't really sure about what was real and what wasn't real. During that time is when I acquired HIV. I can't say that I acquired HIV the same night that I met him. I will say, though, I started getting symptoms 3 weeks after the night that I met him. His viral load was very, very high. The higher your viral load, the easier it is to infect. I was sick for about another 3 weeks. During that time, he was very much like, can't give me what you have. Don't worry, I can't get sick. I just want to take care of you. It's really hard when you're with a narcissist. It's really hard to differentiate like what you should have done versus what you feel like you're able to do. You become them essentially, and you start thinking like them, start thinking for them, like, oh, what would they want me to do? I ended up getting tested 5 months after we met. The reason why I ended up going to the doctor is because
5 months after y'all met. So you say y'all was talking for like 7 to 8 months. So 5 months, boom, you tested. They're gonna tell you you're positive for HIV. And now what?
Even though I wasn't symptomatic anymore, like there were 2 symptoms that persisted. One of them being consistent, unending yeast infection. So I would take clindamycin like maybe once a week. I would be good for a couple of days, and
So
then
you
the
had
yeast
like
infection would come back. Discovered that I had thrush, which is kind of like a consistent yeast infection. I'm not saying that everyone that suffers from thrush has HIV, but I'm saying like that was a symptom that I experienced. And then the second thing that was very odd to me was that it was so painful to have intercourse. Actually, he experienced the same thing too. During this time, he was very unwell, but I didn't know what it was. And I realized that I was in a lot of pain and that the clindamycin wasn't curing my yeast infection. I was like, okay, I don't have insurance, so I'm not going to go to the doctor, but I could go to the clinic and explain to them what's going on since it's down there. Maybe they have an answer, or they can refer me to someone else that can give me an answer. Mind you, I got tested the day before I met him. The entire panel came out negative. The night before I went to the clinic, I had this like gut-wrenching feeling that I was going to get very bad news. I wasn't expecting it to be HIV. I was expecting it to be something else that could be cured with a shot. And if you haven't gotten tested this year, honey, it is June. Please go get tested. Only thing that they can give you results for the day of is an HIV test. Go back to the waiting area, and after your HIV results come back negative, you're free to go. So I'm sitting down in the waiting area, waiting for them to tell me like, okay, you're free to go. But instead, they call my number up. I find out that I am HIV positive. My world obviously shattered into a million.
I know that's like some fuck, man. That's some crazy news. I'd be like, I wouldn't even know what to do if I got that call and said, like, look, man, you have it. Like, how would, like, coming down below, how would y'all feel? What would y'all think in that moment when if you got that phone call, you didn't got affected? Like, would you break down crying? Would you, like, what would you do? Like, what would you do in that moment? I want to know y'all thoughts. Comment down below.
Pieces. They told me, like, not to worry, that there's a possibility that it could be a false positive. But I knew for a fact that there was no way that I wasn't positive, especially when I started thinking about the symptoms that I had when I first got infected. This is the reason why I was so sick. Like, I was just waiting for God to take me. That's how horrible and painful and confusing and scary that time was, because no one was giving me answers as to why I was so sick. So when they finally told me that I had tested positive for HIV, I was like, well, that makes perfect sense. So I told him the day that I found out. I thought he was going to be shocked. I thought he was going to be scared. I thought he was going to be mad. And he was none of those things. He was neither surprised, shocked, scared, nor mad. He just said, okay. Like, as if I didn't say what I just said. He didn't want to talk about it. Our biggest fights were when I was trying to get him to go to the doctor, because that's all I wanted for him, was to get help. And I never accused him of giving me HIV. I never said, you gave me HIV. I was never mad at him, because what was done was done. At this point, I was just like, are you going to get help? He obviously didn't, if you guys know. And that was the choice that he wanted to make for himself. The only thing that makes me sad about that is that he also kind of made that choice for other people. Didn't have to do what he did to me and to the other women. Please get tested if you haven't already. And just trust God. Get into your word. I'm not here to point my fingers at you, but I will say that sex outside of marriage is immoral. Oftentimes we end up paying the price for that. It might not look like HIV. It might look like a heartbreak. It may look like a child that you weren't prepared for. It might look like chlamydia. At the end of the day, it's just better to do things God's way.
Wow, y'all. What in the world? Give me y'all thoughts down below, man. Stay safe. Stay protected. Even if you get into a breakup, don't go out and just start messing around, because you don't know what's out there. Y'all don't know what people are carrying, what people's intentions are. You just don't know. Like you said, infected people doesn't have a look, even if they sicker on their last days, you know what I mean? Like, she didn't know, like, man, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, man. And I'm going to see y'all in the next video. I'm out. Peace.